Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for being with me today. Today's theme is kind of like random newness. And by the way, if I sound congested, I am a little bit congested these last couple days. I'm not sure what the deal is, but I got like poor air quality alerts on my phone lately. I've just been kind of like somewhere between a stuffy nose and a runny nose for a couple days. But yeah, random newness. It's one of those days where I've got some new stuff to try and I figured let's turn on the camera and document the process. So the first step of my look, I actually talked about this recently. This isn't a brand new thing. It was something I recently repurchased. It's the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. I wear this in the shade Buff, and I think this is an absolutely beautiful product, and I just kind of rediscovered it recently. I've been thinking like, oh yeah, I want to try that again. And I'm really glad I did. It looks super fresh and radiant on the skin. My brush is cleaned. It's kind of like a light to medium coverage, just depending on how much you lay it on. And it does add some hydration, and I do get dry in the summer if I'm spending a lot of time out in the sun. So I'm adding a little bit more right in here, and we'll just buff that in. Okay, that's frustrating. I actually had to blow my nose and messed up my makeup on my nose there, so I will definitely be using my concealer over that zone. This is the Hydro Boost Concealer. I've had this. This is in the shade Fair. So I just kind of patch that all over. It's such an easy, quick kind of throw it on type of concealer. So this I've had on hand, love it. This kind of like newly rediscovered. I'd used this in the past and I'm just really glad I've gotten back in touch with that Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. It's really nice. And as you can see, just using that same brush going over it, it's a stick concealer, but it's not heavy or thick, not problematic in any way. But I feel like skin looks fresh, radiant, even, and yeah, just these two drugstore products. We will be getting into some real newness in a second, but we just got a few started out steps. I'm using some Wet n Wild Photo Focus loose powder as well. Just gonna set my under eye, just real quick like. And we'll set the T-zone as well until the next time I blow my nose. And as always, if there's any little bit of excess there from what I just did, I can dust that away or just kind of work it in. This is something I've just kind of had on hand. I've used it on and off, and I need to sort of make some assessments on it already. It's the HD Skin palette from Makeup Forever, and it's their sculpting palette. So it has like contouring shades. It says it has 6 shades to conceal an even skin tone, 2 contour shades, and 4 shimmery highlighters. So it looks like those highlighters are right here. You've got a couple contours. I mean, you could use anything however it works for your skin tone, but this is the overall shade offering that this comes out in. Now, not all that long ago, they came out with this HD Skin palette, and this has correctors, concealers, contours, and blush, and even a highlighter in there as well. So I kind of felt like when I looked at this, I thought, well, isn't this even more well-rounded? Although this maybe has a few different like tone options as far as really contouring, I guess, because you do have something a bit cooler happening there, some different shades of those highlighters. But if we're just talking what multitasks further, I feel like this one does a bit more. But I thought we could use this today to do a little sculpting. I'm going to go to this shade down here, and I'm going to just use my Sephora 56. I'm going to go straight into that and start working it in as cream bronzer, basically. I was out in the sun for a long time on Saturday. Now, I of course had my sunscreen on, but when I came in, like, I was a little reddish on my nose, and I could even see that a little bit Sunday morning as I was doing my makeup. Gosh, this blends easily. But it faded so much today. I don't really feel red or sunburned at all. I had a Vino baby, I tell you. Let's try a little bit of this cooler shade just to give you a sense of what that looks like. Ooh, I do like that tone. That looks incredibly natural. Really nice there. Dabbing it in. It's like that shade is so sneaky. At first, you don't even think it's even there. All these 4 shades right here have shimmer, okay? So just know that. I'm thinking about trying just a little bit of that, just to see. Oh, we got a kitten coming in. Hi, Biscuit. I swear I sneezed so hard over the weekend a couple times. I think I have a little, like, broken capillary right there on my brow bone. We've done some sculpting. Another side to this that we haven't really talked about just yet are like these lighter tones slash possible skin tone matching tones over here. You know, you could use a little bit of this to add some brightness to the tops of the cheeks, you know, kind of blend it into concealer. Mix with any of these other shades to get more of a color that you could patch all over larger portions of the skin, practically work it in as foundation. I think this is a pretty versatile product, but I don't see it as something on a day-to-day basis that I'm going to want to be grabbing for all the time. I feel like the other version of this that also includes blushes, that interests me a little bit more. I see the value in it. I'm just not sure I'd use it all the time. I'm going to use some of this kind of pearly shade down here. There's two really light pearly highlighter type colors. We're just going to dab this right here and use our finger. I'm not applying a lot of pressure, but I'm doing kind of like a dabbing slash buffing that in. So yeah, my takeaway here, it's makeup forever. It's nice quality. It's good textures. I'm just not jumping up and down about the product concept itself just because I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to grab for this all the time. If I'm in the mood really for a cream contour, I find a lot of my sticks so easy to just swipe on, you know, and then just immediately blend them in. You know, my ones from M Cosmetics or Persona, those sticks are just so easy. This is maybe what you want to grab out if you're thinking, okay, I'm really feeling artsy with the process today. I really want to, you know, pick and choose some shades and get it very custom. But for now, we're going to move on to blush. And I actually have a lot of different new blush things to try. There are new Afterglow liquid blushes from NARS. I've been playing with a couple of those over the weekend. There are actually 6 different shades. I'm going to use one of those now, and then I may layer up another new blush on top of that. We know it's sometimes what I'm prone to do. I'm going to take the one in the shade Wanderlust. It has like the purpley looking label. But when I was playing with this over the weekend, I thought, wow, that's kind of the cool pink option actually. So I think people might want to know about it. When we think about these liquid blushes, a lot of people's minds may go to the Rare Beauty ones, and you know how pigmented and how little goes a long way those are. I feel like these are thinner, lighter, just a little bit softer than those. Like if I put on that amount of a Rare Beauty blush, it would be like, whoa, you're going to be blending that away for days. Like it's just, there's going to be so much on your cheeks. And here you can see I put what felt like a fairly generous amount, but you're seeing more lightness, more glow, not really glow by way of shimmer, but can you just see like the light catching that is happening there now? This one called Wanderlust just gives that soft, really soft, cool pink look. Just for the heck of it, let's take the shade that seems to be the darkest. It's called Insatiable right here. Oh my gosh, it looks like a real deep red. I have not experimented with this one whatsoever. We'll just take a couple little dots here. Ooh. Oh, that shears out tremendously, but it's really pretty. Really like juicy kind of cherry popsicle kind of vibes. But yeah, definitely a different, lighter, more sheer type of blush compared to Rare Beauty. Not that one more blush needs to be applied, but Lawless has put out like a little watermelon range. I like how they kind of spotlight a certain shade and they'll put it out in a blush. And then they also have their Forget the Filler lip glosses. And now also the solid like Forget the Filler lip balms. They like do one new featured color in all those products. And I thought this was really beautiful when I tried it on over the weekend. Just a powder blush, but it's got a lot of fun punch to it. A really fun summer shade. Look at that pink. Oh, it really reminds me of Makeup by Mario's stick in Raspberry, but just in a powder format. I love the way that just leaps off the cheeks. And as far as the texture left behind from those NARS liquid blushes, it's a little bit tacky. It's not off the wall, but as you could see, they added sheer color and some glow by way of their texture. Just had a little dewiness to them, and it is giving this blush a little something to stick to. But if you like a colorful pop from your blush, you will really enjoy that watermelon shade. It's the Make Me Blush Talc Free Velvet Blush from Lawless. I might even take my little powder brush or a little powder puff and go over that just a little bit. Another thing to note as well, we did have some highlighter on that probably added to the glowy look on the cheeks. So keep that in mind. We might not be quite this glowy had we not used some of those highlighters in this palette, just saying. Okay, so I'm gonna go over my brows. I don't have anything new for them, but I do have some new eye and lip things, so we'll move on to that in a second. Okay, brows are done, and we have this from Natasha Denona. How cool does that look? Wow, I didn't realize the front of that palette looked that neat until I like held it up to the camera from a distance, but this is the Yucca palette. Okay, this is what's new right now for summer from Natasha Denona. The moment I opened this up, I thought, this looks cool, but I'm pretty sure this is a very niche palette. You know what I mean? Like, some people are gonna like this, some people are gonna see it and say, I don't think that's my vibe. So we're gonna play around with it today and we'll see what kind of look we turn out. I've already done one look with this. I had like a real metallic goldeny thing going on the lid, some dark green in the outer corner and some warmth blended into the crease. It was a good look, but we're gonna continue experimenting today. So I'm gonna go to the shade called Valley right here in the middle. It's kind of like a medium brown. I would like to know in the comments section how many of you are in the summertime. Like, how involved are you with your eye looks? Do you really like to just keep it light, barely there, say, it's summer, I feel like doing less? Do you like to sit down and do a full-on put-together eye look every day? And how do you feel about color? This palette, I mean, I could do some looks that I guess aren't terribly colorful. You could go all matte if you wanted to. Our mattes are like here, here. These two shades are matte also. Still just working with Valley right into the crease, blending above a bit. I'm going to take Ixia right here, this matte warm color, just a little bit of that. I did that the other day and I thought, wow, it does look pretty. It's this shade right here, and I'm just kind of grazing that over the outer edge of things. Next up, I'm thinking, let's do some of this Willow shade on the lid. So this is a matte color, kind of unique. I don't feel like we see this a lot. It's almost like a deepened seafoam green. I would say almost like a Kelly green, but there's just a hint more blue in it. But wow, is that full colored? Just a real full-bodied matte green there. And there were some liners that came out in this collection also. I'm throwing this out there for those of you who feel like the colorful and green leaning looks are for you. I know it may not be for everybody, but one thing's undeniable. These Natasha Denona palettes have great quality, great pigment, great staying power. Staying power is a really like special thing, I feel like, about these shadows. They really do last. I'm taking Calathea right up here. So this is a deep, a little bit more satin finish like forest green. And I'm going to use that in my outer corner. I've taken that brighter matte green up to the crease, and then I'm just kind of using my small brush here and the deeper shade just to blend a little bit. That's actually blending a little easier than I thought it would. Okay, where do we go next, my friends? I mean, I feel like this shade really wants to come out and play. I also have Citrine right here, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a fade from Citrine to Camu Camu just as we go inward. Let's try it. I know this isn't showing off a ton of shimmer. Oh wow, Citrine, hello. Not showing off a lot of shimmer, but at least I was able to show you a picture of the shimmery lid I did with this the other day. Citrine is just even more vibrant than it appears in the pan when it goes on the lid. I'm overlapping a little bit, see that? Overlapping. And then we'll do this one right up here. It looks downright fluorescent. It's going on a whole lot like Citrine, just a little bit lighter. And if you really wanted to, you could probably pop that on top of like a white base and get even more of a contrast out of it, but wow. I'm not sure I've ever done a look just like this. Maybe something out of the electric palette at one point in time. It's bright. It's fun. Like, let's bring back fun eyeshadow. Who cares? Now, they've got these Macro Tech eye crayons, they call them. And one of them is a nice, deep, defining green shade, and I'm going to use that. But there are also 2 shades of yellow. You know, you could get real artsy and real, like, graphic with the way you use these, but you can see one's like a fluorescent yellow and one is more of a golden yellow. The fluorescent one is Camu Camu, and then the other is Fuchsia, and the dark green is Willow. So all of those are shades in the palette: Camu Camu, Fuchsia, Willow. Willow was that green that we used in the outer corner, and I'm just going to use that in the pencil. The pencil, I used this with my first look as well. It seems darker, like substantially darker than the shadow Willow. Like, this is very defining and rich, and I'm just taking that all the way in. It's super soft. It is also brand new, so there's that, but it's going over my look with ease, and it's just giving me that kind of greenish definition. I do have some new Milani eyeshadow sticks here. This is the Gilded Eyeshadow Stick in the shade Terra. But I was thinking of playing with a little bit of this because I've been wanting to use these more. There's a whole range of these. And just kind of see how well this lasts for me today, used as smudgy lower liner. If you're kind of wondering what this shade is, it's like a deep brownish shimmer. It's really similar to Cocoa from Laura Mercier. So I wanted to see if it would last like Cocoa from Laura Mercier, the caviar stick. We'll just keep the upper part of the eye the spectacle of this look, and we'll let the lower part just kind of balance it out. Okay, now I randomly, this was the nicest thing I thought. I had done, and I've done over the years, you know, a lot of videos featuring stuff I've gotten at Walmart. And Walmart actually took note of my haul where I said all I went in for was cat food, and then I had all this beauty stuff. And they had sent me a message on Instagram like, we loved your video, can we like send you a little something? And I'm like, sure, okay. I get a huge box that's full of like summertime stuff for my kids, like outdoor, a little bubble crab and a slip and slide and sidewalk chalk and all this fun stuff for them, and a box of like beauty goodies for me as well. And I just thought, wow, that's really cool for them to take note. Like, I'm not in cahoots with them. I'm not doing like a sponsored relationship with them in any way. I have had offers and I have not done them. I just like want to do what I want to do with Walmart, say what I want to say about the stuff that I try. But they sent me that, and I thought that was really nice. They must have dug into my info a little bit to figure out like, oh, she's got little kids. But anyway, among the things they sent were some Lottie London products. Do you have Lottie London in your Walmart store? Because in my local store, it's not there, but I guess it's available through the website. They sent some various lip products. I won't be able to try everything on this day. They sent the stamp liner, all these different lip things, but also this super fake mascara. And it's got a real unique wand. It looks basically like just straight, but there are little spikies. Just hold on. Can you see any little spikies there? There are some. Let's see what this does. It feels like the formula is kind of dry, which usually bodes well for me, like, because it just, my lashes aren't super duper full, so drier formulas just build a little better, whereas the wet ones just sometimes slip right through. Okay, there's like one coat of it. That's kind of cool. Like, you wouldn't think it would be that defining because the bristles are just so short, like barely coming off the wand. Oh, I like this. Holy cow. I'm into it. I hope it wears well. All I know is I have fluorescent green, yellow lids today and nowhere really in particular to go. Probably the playground. As far as Lottie London content, gosh, I just saw the bottom of my nose. It's so dry from blowing it the last couple days. I've done stuff on Lottie London. I've gotten stuff from them through Ulta. They've done some nice quality stuff, nice eyeshadow palettes, as I recall. This mascara is just really cool. It seems like it's actually holding and reinforcing, like kind of pushing in the curl a little bit more as well. I'm going to do a little Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water on my lower lashes just because I know it won't smudge and it's summertime. Got summertime heat. That way we know if something smudges on the lower lash line, it's the fault of the Milani smudgy stick. There's our eye look, my friends. And then moving on to the lip, what will I use? Let's try some of this Cheeky Kiss cream lipstick and blush stick. Okay, it looks like it's got a little heart on it. And the clicker wants to stick a little bit. Okay, there it's coming. How many clicks does it take? There. Okay, let's do just a little. It's heart-shaped, did I say that? How many blushes has it been? 1, 2, 3, this is number 4, I think. Okay, it works. It works as blush. A lot of lipsticks would though, to be fair. Let's just see. It feels weird to do this heart shape on my lips. My dry, crusty lips. Okay, the color's cute. This shade is called Swipe Right. Okay. And then we have this Plumped AF Sheer Plumping Lip Gloss. This is in the shade Peach Please. It's real chunky, like the tube is just like real thick. Let's put some of this on. Just for a clear gloss. I really felt this the other day when I was wearing it. But it looks completely like sheer and clear. In a future video, I'll have to throw on some of this watermelon stuff. I popped up a little short over the weekend where I used the Juicy Watermelon in the stick. And they also put out the Juicy Watermelon Overnight Lip Mask too. But I don't really feel like I want to go any more colorful with my lips today, just given the fact that, you know, the eye is what it is. But yeah, this was fun. Fun experimentation today. I had fun trying these NARS liquid blushes, especially this shade called Insatiable. It looks like it's so rich, and then the way that shears out like a cherry popsicle is so fun and satisfying. And I feel like there's just a little more ease of use with these compared to a Rare Beauty liquid blush. You know what I mean? There's just less opacity. They just kind of work right into the skin with a lot of ease. There's Dolce Vita. There's other shades that I wasn't able to try them all on today. I thought that shade Insatiable was really fun. I love this Lawless blush in the watermelon shade. That even just purely on its own, that is awesome. I feel like this mascara is actually quite delightful. I love the kind of surprise of what comes off of that very straight wand. And the Yucca palette. What do we think of this? For me, I see it and I think fun statement look. It's probably a lot to spend for something that's not going to feel very everyday. You know what I mean? Like when I think of my Dream palette from Natasha Denona, or the Bronze palette, or different neutral ones where it's like, yeah, I could see myself getting a lot of use out of that. It's easier for me to justify the high price tag. And with this one, it's kind of a real special sort of statement look, offering a lot of greens. Maybe this is the missing piece where you've been like, I've been wanting those tones forever and finally somebody put them out. Well, then here you go. But I think you know if this is something that feels worth it to you. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely way more glitz in this palette than I showed off today. You know, these shades just really shine. Today I went more matte, but I wanted to see, you know, what are those matte colors made of? And they really, like this shade right here, Citrine, that's loud. Very, very loud. But one takeaway here about Natasha Denona, regardless of what you think of these shades, the fact that these kinds of colors that are, you know, kind of hard to blend back into skin, generally speaking, a deep green, I thought the ease of use was fantastic with these, actually. One shade blending into the next, it was easy blending back into my skin. It felt like it should have been harder than it was, just working with those tones, and it was really quite easy. But I don't think we should feel like, oh, I'm scared to go around wearing some color. Like, this is fun. This is fun. Like, if I saw somebody, if I ran into somebody with this eye look on, I would immediately be like, wow, cool eye look, you know? So I say go there, try it, do the thing. Thank you guys so much for your time today. Thanks for bearing with me. I feel like my voice has not been quite on point, just a little under the weather, but thank you for watching, and I will see you guys again very soon. I love you. Bye.